Hey, this is Kevin again. As always, I'm going to give you my opinion, which I'm entitled to give you. This video is going to be a little bit different subject, a little bit different topic than normal. It's not about what's going on in the news politically or anything like that. If you are a born-again Christian, a born-again believer in Jesus Christ, and you believe the Bible is the Word of God, you'll probably understand what I'm going to tell you a little bit better than somebody who isn't. But here it is. Now, a friend of mine, we've been talking about this for a long time, and actually he's the one that brought it up to me. And I kind of want to put it in my words, kind of maybe add in my 2 cents of it as well. But here's basically what I want to say. In America, in the United States, probably in all the European countries as well, probably in Canada, a lot of what we would call, not third world countries, but, countries that are doing well economically. We are kind of taught to believe in a certain system. And a system that we've adapted, especially here in the United States, is a system whereby we place money and education at the very top of our priorities, almost to the point of deifying both of those, both education and money. Nobody's saying you don't need some education. We do. But we almost put it to the point of, like, up here, and we put God down here somewhere. Okay, we put the money and the education up here, and especially those on the left, those in the Democrat Party are very guilty of that as well. But even on the Republican side, we all pretty much, it's all kind of ingrained within our society. Because what do we do? We send our kids first of all to pre-K. Then we send them to kindergarten. Then we send them to elementary school. Then middle school, high school. And then after high school, we said, well, you're not done yet. You've got to go to college. And so that costs thousands of dollars to send a kid to college. But we feel like that's got to be done, right? How are they going to live? How are they going to make money to live? How are they going to survive if they don't go to college and get some training, basically get the education they get there in order to get a degree, that piece of paper, in order to show to an employer so they can get a job, a good paying job, by the way, and so they can buy all the goody things that they want to throughout their life. And that's what we are adapted to believe is success. So success is based upon this idea that you must go to a college or university in order to get a good job, in order to have a good life. And that takes away from you being dependent upon God for your everything, for everything that you have. And we know that God is who gives us what we have. If we are, those of us who are believers, we know what we get comes from the Lord, what He provides for us. We see that in the Scriptures. And so those of us, those that are even those that are believers, still fail to understand that and fail to realize that God is our source of everything we have. And so we try to be a God ourselves and take things into our own hands, and we place, at the same time, then we place education and money way up here. And even modern day churches today do the same thing. Especially the prosperity gospel churches, they put money as a very, very high, way high up. Money and possessions, way up there, like Joel Osteen, and many others, Kenneth Copeland, others, Creflo Dollar. I don't consider them to be worthy pastors anyhow, but the fact of the matter is, that's where we place our highest priorities in America today, it seems. And so, being that's the case, Also, another thing that ends up happening, and because those on the left are very much in support of kids going to these universities and colleges, the reason why is because they receive left-wing indoctrination. They received indoctrination to believe in a globalist type mindset. You'll notice that. You'll see it if you look at some of the videos that are done on the man on the street interviews that are done today by people like Ami Horowitz, ones that were done in the past by Mark Dice, ones that are being done right now. I'm trying to think of her name. That works for InfoWars right now. Caitlin Bennett, that's her name. Caitlin Bennett. I dare you to look them up on YouTube and see some of these man on the street interviews. And you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll see that these college kids really are not that intelligent. We say they're getting education. We say that they're in a place of higher learning, and yet when we see the questions that they're asked on these interviews, man on the street interviews, we see that they don't really know anything. They know hardly anything. They really don't. They don't know. I mean, the other day, Caitlin Bennett was asking, or more than a week ago, actually, right before the State of the Union address that the president was going to give, she asked people, what is the State of the Union address? They didn't know. Almost every single person, except for one, did not know what the State of the Union address was. That's pretty sad. But you know what? I bet they know about the latest rap album, and they know who won a Grammy. I bet they know that kind of stuff. I bet they're all into the Green New Deal. I bet they're about that. I bet they like that. Anything that's communistic, socialistic, globalistic in nature, they're all for. Why? Because they've been indoctrinated by these liberal professors in these colleges to believe that way. I don't think they learned that from their parents. I hope they didn't. Unless their parents were indoctrinated the same way and then they passed it on to them. But I think they're being indoctrinated in these colleges and universities to believe that way and think that way. No longer do they think, God bless America. No longer do they think this United States of America is a beautiful sovereign country that we need to cherish, and that we need to, say, look, I'm an American. I belong, I'm a citizen of the United States of America. No longer are they taught to believe that, but instead to believe that they're just part of a one world government, a new world order, globalism. And that's where it comes from. I believe that's absolutely where it comes from. The training, the indoctrination training that's being done in these colleges are doing that. Now, they're going to learn some other things in college. I'm not saying that everything they're going to learn in college is not useful. Obviously, there are things that they can learn in college that are useful, but some of these other classes they take, they're learning to be a globalist citizen, a citizen of the global government. That's what they're learning. And that's why they answer the way they do on these man on the street interviews. That's why they think that socialism is the way to go. Look at the number of people that really wanted Bernie Sanders as president in 2016. They were mostly college kids. The college kids loved this. All of a sudden, they cherish this old geezer from Vermont who's a socialist. This guy that's a socialist, old geezer from Vermont, there's nothing attractive about him. It's not like they liked his looks. No. But they liked what he believed in. They liked what he was telling them that he would do for them. Free college. Oh, I want to give you free college. You got to free this and free that. And they didn't think about it, the fact that none of that stuff really could be free, because it has to get paid for somehow. And a socialist mindset doesn't understand that. And that's why Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez thinks the way she does. She thinks in the same mindset as these college kids today. I think that's probably how she got in there. She thinks the way they do, the same way that Bernie Sanders is teaching. And I think Bernie Sanders knows better. Bernie Sanders is not a poor person. He's a rich person. He's a rich man. Okay? Any of those in Congress right now that have been there for a while, very wealthy people. And it's not because of what they get paid by the government to be in that position. It's because of other ways that they're making money. There again, it's all about the money. So with that, I'm going to say bye for now. Maybe think about that. Tell me what you think. I think that that's pretty much the way things are right now. And honestly, I think we should place our trust more on the Lord than we do on money and possessions and things like that, or this desire for more education and more money. We should place our desires on what pleases God. With that, I'm going to say bye for now.